Hey, Riddle here. I am sharing this video with you to hopefully share some story or knowledge that will make your life easier and help you so you didn't have to go through what I went through this week. It has been one hell of a week. And it starts ironically with my goal of getting back into shape and taking care of myself. So, about 3 weeks ago, I started what I call phoenixing. Now, you know the story of the mythical bird that dies and turns to ashes and then once again rises from the ashes and has this complete rebirth into strength. So, 3 weeks ago, I started a workout regimen and it was going really well. And it was a combination of intermittent fasting and working out first thing in the morning, just doing pull-ups and push-ups and dips and things like that, jump roping. It was really good, and I was feeling really good. So about a week ago, 8 or 9 days ago, suddenly uh, I had done my workout and I felt fine. I felt just great. But afterwards, I noticed I'd pinched something in my right elbow, and it got progressively worse and worse and worse until I had these horrible shooting pains going from the elbow up and down my arms. And I couldn't sleep. And I was doing ibuprofen, but I didn't have any like real painkillers. But what I didn't know is that painkillers are not effective with nerve issues. And I'm still waiting to find out, but I'm pretty good at self-diagnosis, and I believe that I pinched a nerve. And then the pain started radiating all the way around to the shoulders and into the pectorals, and it just got so like 2 nights without sleep, 3 nights without sleep. There was no way I could lay, and there was no way I could find any kind of comfort. And so I keep taking the ibuprofen, and then finally I wind up in at urgent care. And this is where it's kind of helpful information. And then after visiting urgent care 2 times, they gave me some Flexerol, which is supposed to help more with the nerve pain. And they gave me some hydrocodone, and they gave me something else. But what they didn't really warn me about is taking all those different narcotics that it can give you really horrible constipation. And I'm usually someone who is extremely regular because I eat so healthy. But by day 4, the constipation was so bad that, and the pain was so bad that basically what happened was the combination, the constipation was pressing on nerves in combination with when I would try to pee, the pain would cause these contractions, and I stopped peeing. I literally could not pee. So imagine how dangerous that is. So I wind up in the ER. And the ER does every scan known to man. They do the blood work, and they do the like when you have a baby, they do the sorry, I'm still really out of it. They did MRIs and, like I said, a full spinal thing. They looked at my stomach with the X-ray. It'll come to me in a second, and everything was normal. The only thing they could find is I was really constipated, ironically. So they send me home, and I'm still in excruciating pain and not being able to sleep, and now I have a catheter. Like literally, they had to stick a big tube up my penis, and I got this bag hanging off of me, and it's not a very large bag. So every hour, every couple hours, whether you're asleep, no matter what you're doing, you have to empty this bag out. It's a pretty horrible experience. I suddenly had this huge empathy for people who had to live like that. So then after my big jaunt at the ER, they kept me there all day, and all they gave me was a cup of crushed ice cubes. And, all these specialists looked at me, though I never met one of them. I guess they looked at my x-rays and said everything was fine. So I go home, and it's 6, 7 at night, and I go to brush my teeth, and when I go to spit the water out, I realize that I've lost the sensation or use of the left side of my face. That's right. I am not kidding you. I have lost the sensation, the left side of my face. So I'm like, oh, holy hell. What's next? What is next? So the next day, I call the doctor, and I'm a pretty smart man, and I'm very good at self-diagnosing. And that's one of the frustrating things is once you're caught in the system, and they're sending you everywhere to basically come up with a conclusion that you already came up with yourself, except it's costing you tens of thousands of dollars and a lot of discomfort and a lot of time. That's a tricky one. So my doctor said you have to go back to the emergency room and get the CAT scan done for your brain to make sure that you didn't have a stroke. And I said, okay, doctor, could I just go to urgent care instead? Because urgent care has the same resources, but it's a $20 copay, and it'll be a lot less. My insurance will cover it fully. And she goes, that's actually a much better idea, yes, especially financially. So the 2 points I want to make in this video is, one, all those doctors that look at you at the ER, you may not see them, but in addition to your ER visit, you are charged and billed separately from those doctors who look at your chart or look at your blood work or look at your x-ray. So that's important to know. And the second thing is that the next day, when something goes wrong or everything's screwed up, you will not have access to any of those professionals that looked at you the day before at the emergency room. And I just find that really ironic, considering that these people are often writing referrals to you, or you're kind of in suspended animation with some type of serious situation. And also considering the amount of money that you pay in that emergency room situation. So, although she liked my idea, by the time I came up with the idea, we went to the urgent care, and they had shut down the scanners. So here in California, Northern California, where we live, they'd stopped doing the scans at 5 o'clock. And I got there at like 5 o'clock, of course. So they said, oh, maybe the other ones run across town, missed that boat too. So I still had to go to the emergency room to have the CAT scan done to basically confirm that basically I had developed Bell's palsy. And the Bell's palsy was probably because I was under so much pain and so much stress. If I could have gotten in to see an orthopedics doctor, and this is another interesting thing, to look at what was causing all this pain and to bring me some type of relief so it didn't spiral out of control like this, because I literally probably went 6 days without any sleep. It was so desperate that I was hallucinating. And when I finally made it, day 4, I think, or 5, to the orthopedic doctor, that was when my face had the Bell's palsy had just manifested, and I had the catheter. And he looked at me and basically said, you are such a mess. You need to go to the emergency room and come back once you've stabilized. So, that being said, points are, if you start to experience horrible pain, just be careful the direction that you're led into in regards to how many opioids and what type of painkillers they're giving you, and how often you're taking them, and how that's going to affect your bowels. Number 2, if you have to go into this circus try to be very careful with managing it earlier in the morning day to get into an urgent care versus winding up at the emergency room, because the emergency room is a major expense, even with great insurance, versus you can often get the exact same help, or they will let you know if indeed you need to go to the ER at your urgent care. The urgent care is often the same copay that you would pay just for a doctor. So you want to start at urgent care. Always start at urgent care unless you're having a life-threatening, situation like a heart attack or stroke or something, because they often will tell you indeed if you need that additional care expense at the emergency room. So this was a very, very costly life lesson for me. And now I still am waiting to find out what the hell is manifesting this horrible pain, this pinched nerve thing in my arm that now is in my back, and blah, 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 blah. And I have Bell's palsy that I need to go through therapy and manage. So I guess that's going to be a neurologist. And I still need to go back to some type of orthopedic person to help with unraveling what injury I did initially, to get to some kind of relief and rehabilitation. So as I recover, I may be doing less videos, but I really hope this was helpful, and feel free to jump in with any advice or any experiences you've had, positive or negative, dealing with the healthcare industry here in the United States, ERs versus urgent cares. And I want you to take care of yourselves and take care of each other, because I believe how we treat each other in the streets is our ultimate reality. And I have to tell you, my new smile is something else. I look like a demented pirate. If you say pretty please, I might even show you. Okay, bye.